Hi everyone, welcome to Life Tips by Ning. Today is my first video giving you an introduction of what this channel is all about. But I figure I can start by sharing what prompted me to start this channel. So when I was a kid, I remember my first dream was to be an archaeologist because I find it fascinating to dig up ancient artifacts that tells you stories in the past. And then as I grew older in high school, my second dream was to be a doctor because I find it super meaningful to help others. But as life happens, the reality is I ended up studying economics and doing nothing, like my full-time job has nothing to do with either of those two passion areas. But I still find those two passions live well in my heart and I'm not forgetting about them. Because like when I'm watching TVs, it still draws my attention to watch all those Egypt documentary. And in my spare time, I read Indian Vedas like Ayurveda and Vedic astrology. And when our family traveled to Peru, it's just really awe-inspiring to see the Inca remains and be amazed at the amazing architecture and what people did thousands of years ago. So I just feel very fortunate because I grew up in China. That means I have easier access to like language and cultural understanding, and I was able to digest and learn a lot of the ancient Chinese wisdom. And the older I grew, the more I find it beneficial to apply those learnings in my day-to-day life and help me cope with the hurdles and sufferings in life. So I figure why not sharing this wisdom to others, and hopefully I can help other people who experience similar issues like I have. So today I'll just start with probably sharing the basic knowledge system of the ancient Chinese wisdom I was talking about. This is called I Ching and the 5 metaphysics. So I Ching is pretty much the motherhood and the birthplace of all of this foundational Chinese philosophy. So Yi means change and Jing means the law and the underneath governing rules for certain subjects. So if you combine the two words together, it truly means the law of the universe and the consistent rule governing change. So that's the purpose of I Ching. And here's like a visual representation of the concept of I Ching. So you can see, right, the white part is yang energy and the black part is the yin energy. So I can start by saying what those two means. It's very simple. Yang is like your masculine, expanding, dominating, bright, right, showing a very apparent, and it represents heaven and sky. And the yin, the black colored one, that means the feminine energy, more restrictive, supportive, indirect, and not super on the surface. And it represents earth. So if you're only looking at the yin and yang, that's a stagnant energy. It really doesn't match how the universe works. So that's why you see the two little dots in the chart, right? So when the yang is too much, the little yin is starting to grow. And the moment the yin energy is growing so much to the other extreme, it starts to fade. And you can see a little yang starting to grow and expand. So that creates the cycle of change. And this also kind of explains the Chinese culture of why we worship the middle way or the balanced approach, because anything if you go to the other extreme, that's not the position to be very stable and it will change again. So most Chinese people emphasize the importance of balance. But then from this foundational I Ching theory, later generations grew 5 metaphysics pillars based on this same theory. And the 5 categories are called Shan, Yi, Ning, Xiang, Bu. And I can briefly explain which pillar means and what I'm gonna focus on this channel about. So the first one, Shan, that's mostly the pursuit of enlightenment and it's used by Taoism monks to practice enlightenment through either like meditation, kung fu, martial arts. So if you think of the movie Kung Fu Panda, it's actually funnily have some connections to the same point. So it's how to refine your chi to eventually achieve the other realm, or they can escape reincarnation. So that's the point of Shen. The second one, Yi, is the traditional Chinese medicine. So it's analyzing the 12 main meridian lines in our body and how they connect with the vital organs in our body, right? So it uses either acupuncture or moxibustion to trigger the pressure points in our body for health. It also uses like herbal and food therapy or Reiki energy healing. The whole point of all those tools is to optimize our blood and qi flow in our body for optimum health. So that's the E category. The third one is Ming. That's life reading. That's the one I'm most fascinated about. So there are two main tools to read like your life chart and figure out like your personalities, your strengths, and what your life is about, right? So Bazi is mostly based on the 5 elements of metal, wood, water, fire, and earth, and figuring out like how your energy interplays with the environment you were born in and you're gonna spend your life in to predict the favorable or unfavorable trends of your life. And the other one, Dou Shu, that one is more like comparable to Western and Jyotish astrology with the 12 house system. It has a very detailed view level of different aspects of your life represented by the 12 houses. So I found the combination of those tools very helpful because Bazi is mostly the macro level of life reading, and Dou Shu is a very detailed, fine-tuned level to give us indications on what to focus on. And the fourth one is called Xiang. That word literally means appearance, like face reading, palm reading, see like the height and location of your bone structure on your face, right? The whole point is to analyze your personality and your fate based on those traits. But I'm not super good at that one, or have researched a lot or learning about that particular aspect. But what I am fascinated with is the feng shui aspect under Xiang. So feng shui is about the location, position of your house or your main domain to see how do we keep the positive qi in the house and get rid of the negative qi in the house so we can have a better environment to support us. So I might share certain tips under feng shui as well. Last but not least is Bu. Bu means prediction. So going back to this chart, right, you see my drawing of the basic 8 Chinese symbols representing different energy. That's all been developed based on the yin and yang theory. But once you combine each symbol with each other, like the math will show, you end up with a total of 64 different symbols. So like those two up and down together versus the other position, that will create 2 different other symbols. But the whole point of Bu is using a specific tool to land on one of the 64 symbols that will communicate a knowledge or guidance for you. It's mostly used when people have a major decision, they just can't weigh the pros and cons. And it's a way to communicate with the divine. And it'll show you which one of the 64 symbols you land on and the meaning of it to give you guidance on making a better decision. So that's what that 5th category is about. But after giving you an overview of all those 5 categories, I would say this channel's main focus is on the life reading part because I'm a very practical person and I find it super helpful as a tool to help us answer questions like, what type of career should I focus on in my life? Am I gonna work at a corporation, a government agency, or starting my own business, right? Or have a primary and a secondary job? Like, what is the optimum choice for me? or answer questions like financial investment, which is super important. Is real estate, stock, or actually hoarding a lot of cash? Like, which is the best approach for me? Or like your relationship with your family members, like parents, children, spouse, siblings, or outside of the family, like friends, partners, superior or supervisors at life, right? Are they gonna support you or distract you? What's that basic pattern? But most importantly, like it also can give you indications on your health risk, your propensity for certain exposures, and what is your karmic imprint for this life. And so you can answer the ultimate question of what am I here for? What's a homework I'm supposed to pass at this lifetime? So that's the usefulness of those life reading tools, because ultimately I kind of want to help people achieve their full potential by knowing who you are, your real self, and what your strengths are in life to get to the best place you could possibly be. So yeah, that's my why of focusing on the life reading part, but I might supplement some of the contents with the components of the other 4 pillars. For example, I might do some self-caring tips from Meridian Yoga or Moxie Bastion at home, or I might share more understanding of the 64 symbols, how to do a prediction reading by yourself to help you make major decisions in life. So yeah, that's a quick and dirty overview of what this channel is about. But before I wrap up, I just really want to thank 3 people in my life. The first person is Annie. She's my friend and mentor. She's been spending the last over 3 years coaching me consistently about exploring who I am, what I'm really passionate about, and expand my own comfort zone. Without her, this will still be a concept stuck in my head versus becoming a reality. So I really appreciate your friendship, Annie, if you're watching this. And the last 2 people are my close family members, my husband Brad and my son Darren. I thank Brad for just always being supportive of no matter what I choose to do. He's the one who does all this behind the scene editing and making sure this channel is running. And my son Darren, because he's only 12, but he started his own gaming YouTube video about a year ago. And he's a real life example showing me, don't be overthinking so much. And it's okay to get going and just take actions to follow your dreams. So thank you all for making this a reality, and I really look forward to sharing more contents about life reading so we can all help each other out through this life journey. Thank you.